Good evening. This is Julie Dawson, and this is my case study on internet usage violations and how it affects the school. Problem identification and analysis. What do we know? We know that there were published comments and threats made towards a teacher at our school. There have been complaints made by families and students about this teacher and her stringent policies and work ethics that she has in her classes. She's teaching higher level specialized courses. This is a school that has affluent families. The students are striving to be valedictorians and salutatorians, so there is a very big competition between the students and competition supported by the parents to be the best in their grades, probably to get into the best schools. And there have been repeat run-ins with one particular student and this teacher throughout the course of the year. What do we need to know? Where this email and website came from, the reason behind the email and the website, if any of it was done on school time, and the safety of everyone involved. The problem, the teacher feels threatened by the occurrence, which may stem from her stringent work ethic and guidelines in her classroom, which makes her one of the non-favored teachers despite given resources by her principal to adapt to the school and to help her succeed more within the classroom in this particular population of students. Propose action, plan of action. First, we need to find the source of the email and the website. We need to contact the tech department at our school. We need to create a list of student and parent complaints against Ms. Walker and contact the legal authority of the school, which would be the superintendent. Second, we need to review the internet usage policy as set by the school district and prepare for possible consequences of such actions. Report prepared for the superintendent in case no policy exists, and we need a report prepared for legal authorities if this happens to be an out-of-school situation. Third, we need to provide support for Ms. Walker as she returns to work. We need to keep an active eye on the classroom and the hallways. We need to provide for her security and offer optional housing if she does not feel safe in her current location, and talk to her students so that they know this matter is being taken seriously. Need to get in the classroom, let the students know that we know about it, that we are taking the steps to figure out who's done it, the reasonings behind it, and what actions and consequences will happen because of such misconduct. Resolving the issue based on promoting the success of all students. We have to teach the students that actions have consequences. This may have started as a prank, but this view can be seen as a serious threat. Actions have consequences, and this may be something that is beyond the school's control. This could end up in the hands of law enforcement, in which no longer are we able to help teach the students that actions have consequences. Now they're going to learn the hard way that their actions do have consequences. We also need to teach the students that we have differentiating views and personal opinions, but there's proper ways to go about expressing those and about making their voice be heard and sharing those views and opinions with others in manners that are more effective. And responsible and caring citizens. Many schools have that as part of their words or intent in their mission statements, and we need to uphold these. These students, sometimes society has shown or brought upon the light that these students may feel above authority, but we still need to make sure that these students realize that they have responsibilities and that we are making them, molding them into being caring citizens that look out for the greater cause of the whole world or community in which they live. What was I thinking, feeling, and valuing during this case study? First of all, do schools have policies in place for such situations? I'm not for sure if many places would even have a policy set for in case something like this were to happen. And if so, do we have to look into whether it happened during school time or not happened during school time and how the school can interact with that? Making sure everyone's safe. That is one of the top priorities in this situation. Ms. Walker has to be safe. The students need to feel safe. They may have those views and opinions about her, but they need to know how to better express that in the proper channels in which to do as such, and be safe in expressing those opinions. And the reasoning behind such actions. Why are the students or parents or whoever is doing this lashing out in such a manner? Feelings. I would have a sense of guilt if I were the principal. Did I do everything I could to make sure that this teacher was successful in the classroom and that she was reaching her students and that she was really becoming part of the school community? I'd also have a lack of knowledge of my student body. Being in the school for 9 years, I would think I'd have a good sense of what my students were capable of and how they react to adversity, and I would feel like I may not know them as well as I should. And perplexed on what I was missing. There must have been factors leading up to this that I must have overlooked, and I need to know what those were. Valuing during this case study, Ms. Walker's ability to teach despite complaints about her expectations. As the principal, I gave her resources and techniques to use within the classroom. She did not use them. So I need to value that she continued to push and strive to make her students high achievers. Ms. Walker's confidence in my ability to work through this problem. I was glad that she turned to me as opposed to turning straight to the authorities to figure out this problem. And I also value the school resources that might be available to solve this problem. This is a affluent school, so they could have stuff there that will make it easier for us to figure out this whole situation. Unresolved issues. Can we identify the source or sources behind this email and website? What repercussions will happen within the community after this event takes place, and what repercussions might happen within the classroom with Ms. Walker and her students? Reflecting on Standard 5, how did you as the administrator demonstrate a sense of integrity and ethical behavior? This would be accomplished by not making a huge scene out of it right off the back. If the principal were to storm into the classroom and stomp and yell and demand for them to tell who did this, the students would lose respect for the principal. And so by conducting a search and briefly letting the students know we are aware of this and we are taking the appropriate steps, the principal would keep that sense of integrity and ethical behavior as part of his modeling for the students. How did you as the administrator treat people fairly, equitably, and with dignity and respect? Providing Mrs. Walker with the support within the school setting and letting her know this will be investigated, giving her that sense of security and safety when she is at school and at home. I'd also give the chance for the students to come forward with any information they know, letting them know that their information will be respected, it will be taken seriously, and that if they have information and they wish to be anonymous, that possibility would be there for them. And finally, how did I as the administrator demonstrate a personal and professional code of ethics that inspires others to higher levels of a performance? I didn't jump right into accusing the one particular student that Ms. Walker had identified with problems in the classroom. Had I pulled him in and just started grilling him, I would not be treating him professionally. I would be come across as out against the students, which I don't want. And I explained to the students how the real world works with the actions and consequences that occur. All the students need to know that their actions do have consequences, and that sometimes what they perceive as a silly little joke may not be perceived as a silly little joke in the eyes of a court. And the court system is really where all of this could end up if it is investigated further to come to find out that it is a true threat.